Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to today's edition of Beyond the Ordinary Show. Today we have Colby Wilk, who's going to be talking to us about regaining peace and power. And we're also going to be opening up to mini readings with Colby, which goes straight to the truth, straight to the heart. And y'all are going to get to experience a tiny sample of what Colby does in the readings as well. And the special offer is an invitation to go deeper with him in these type of readings and sessions. And Colby's pretty direct in his approach, compassionate, but really holds a particular standard that is available to you by seeing with greater clarity and grounding it in as you connect to yourself in more powerful ways. Um, so Colby uses highly developed intuitive skills to help you transform yourself. When you accept yourself in your divinity, well-being arises. So I'm reading from Colby's script, right? What was unhealable heals. What was unchangeable changes, sometimes instantly. Um, Colby's recognized that there has been a power beyond traditional therapeutic methods that can shift what seemed unchangeable. And he helps his clients and the people he worked with to do exactly just that. And it's with that, Colby, that I want to welcome you back to BTO. It's been a while.
Hey, hello. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So, Colby, why don't you describe to everybody listening how it is that you work with different clients and where that clarity and that laser focus that you bring comes from?
So I'm really good at spotting what the truth is, at least in my opinion, and
Mm,
seeing what's in someone's way that maybe they're not owning. So in my opinion, a good psychic tells you what you already know, but you don't want to know.
mm,
What a good psychic does. Doesn't tell you what your boyfriend's going to look like or what car to buy, but what the truth is. So my work is about helping people to be soul-centered, to be in concert with their soul. And in my experience, when people are more in tune with themselves, their soul, life goes a little bit better. As well as if you know what your soul wants for you, then you know what to do at any given point.
mm,
Life becomes very simple. So today, I thought what we do, if it's okay with you, is take calls where people are off center. A difficult time for people now, for many. So where or with whom are you off center? And then I would look at that and maybe teach a practice. And the people on the call who are, just listening can do the same practice and benefit by doing it with us. So I'll be sharing many, many different practices connect with your larger self as well as the earth.
beautiful. And why connecting as well of ourselves and the earth? How is it that you assist in doing that?
Well, if you're not connected to the earth, you have all sorts of health problems. That's the bottom. We are mostly earth. We are walking earth consciousness. That's what we are. A lot of
Hmm.
people like to think of themselves as cosmic dust, and a lot of healers bring people up and out, which makes people very psychic and very visionary. But also, those same people have health problems, insomnia, rashes, digestive issues, ascension symptoms. So it's important that we recognize our connection above as well as our connection below. This work tends to attract people who want to leave or want a bigger and wider experience, but not a deeper one. In
Hmm.
my opinion, we are here to become ourselves, not to be happy. Becoming ourselves is a deeply satisfying experience, but not necessarily always a happy one. When we become ourselves, whoever that is, bad, good, whatever, we become ourselves. We become our own source.
Well, and I think there's a difference between being happy and the alchemy that is felt from that place of an emotion that we seek, and being in conjunction with natural law and the law of nature also, which is an evolving process. And and happiness as a gateway is one thing, but really that presence of being and the evolution and the freedom and prosperity that can be found in living in that truth. goes beyond the alchemical production of a joy or happiness into a standard by which we live in coexistence and in harmony and expansion with what we would call natural law.
Right. The goal is not to be happy, in my opinion. The goal is to become us. And sometimes you get frustrated, you get angry, you get upset, and that might be who you are in that moment, and that's just fine. And it's about accepting those moments and going in and seeing what's there, as opposed to pushing them aside and trying to be happy. I'm not teaching people to go around themselves.
Hmm. But it's not that happiness can't be found, Colby. Let's not be so macabre about it also.
Bob. Uh, no, happiness comes from being yourself.
Hmm.
That's where it comes.
Right. So y'all, just to clarify, joy and happiness is something that we can be in and emanate from and create from. Um, and I want to clarify and ex please correct me if I'm wrong. You're not insinuating that happiness cannot be a state and that shouldn't be a state that we function from.
Well, there's happiness and there's joy, two different things, in my opinion, right? You can function from joy for a bit, and happiness can be found when you buy a new car or when you get a new girlfriend or boyfriend, right? You're like, ooh, that's exciting. But it's not the goal, in my opinion. It's just me.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
It's not me. And this
It's
is just my line of thinking. Doesn't mean it's right.
mhm.
Well, seems like it brought up some stuff for you, John.
Well, it's I want to ground in also that there is an aspect of a connection that does fuel higher vibrational states of being that are in, and I get that you're all about that aspect of being and discovering more of that beingness and experiencing through that being without happiness being the goal. But there is a calibration that happiness and joy provide.
Absolutely.
And I understand, again, from our work together and from reviews also, and when we've been on the show, that sometimes that working with you, that's like that as the truth comes out and and it gets revealed, that some people may be a little triggered in an aspect of it, in parts of it, because there's things that perhaps they don't want to be with, that they'd rather not experience or rather put to the side because it's going to put them in a place of discomfort. And again, to clarify, those the sessions and where you're just providing the joy codes or not where Colby's going to take you necessarily. Um,
I guess
it's
the difference is you could say to a guy who's married, and he could say, I really like being married, but I'm gay, and I don't want to be with a woman. I want to be with a man. And I get you think being with a woman is going to make you happy, but it's not who you are.
hmm.
And by being who you are, a gay man, you become more of you. And that process will generate more satisfaction, but it may not be a happy process to come out, not necessarily all the way.
It's not an artificially
Right.
manufactured happiness, which is when we're not living in a congruent life, and eventually that heart that the house of cards is going to come crashing down, whether it's in the short time period or living with a lot of repressing our potential and what we're capable of expanding within ourselves when we're really navigating from that integrity of the truth.
Mhm. I think the word is congruent.
Yeah, yeah,
You
that
used
makes
a
sense.
good word there.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. And again, y'all, we're gonna get into live Q&A with Colby in a little bit. So if you guys want to raise your hand uh and have him go into the field and experience some of the processes, I highly encourage you uh to type your question into the chat box or raise your hand so we can get some Q&A with you guys. Um, Colby, how is it that as we go in that we actually going into back to regain our center and 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 with so many wobbles that could be thrown into the field, um, how are you guiding people not to lose themselves in the process?
So people are being thrown off center, maybe because the election results, maybe because, their job is threatened or money's an issue or they can't seem to generate the career they want, whatever the case may be. Or whenever they go home for the holidays to see their mom or dad, it's just really challenging to be and to maintain what you know to be true. So the key here is to recognize, all right, where am I off center? Where am I off balance? Where have I lost myself? What just happened? And now what can I do to bring myself back? Option one. Option two is, hey, there's something at the root here that's causing me to go off center when I'm with my boss, when I'm with my mother-in-law, oh, taxes are coming. Oh, that's very provocative for me. What's up with that? And to dig to the bottom of that and resolve it. So you have two ways of going. Practice, go into the root. And usually going to the root is about facing off with the truth.
Hmm.
The truth that maybe you weren't allowed to be that type of person, or you get punished, whatever the case may be. We'll have to see as we do this work what comes up
Mhm.
for people. Everyone's so different. And the practices I'm going to recommend are customized. So in the moment, I'll look and give you each a practice that can help you get back in center in the moment.
Okay,
Life
wonderful.
moves pretty fast. You need something at your disposal to do that you can bring yourself back.
Mhm. Wonderful. Let's get into some application here with some of the callers. And Linda, let's start with you. Welcome to the call.
Thank you very much for choosing me. Hi,
Mhm.
Corey.
So,
I am
Colby.
doing
yeah.
taxes like for the very first time. Um, Usually my husband has done it and I'm like off-centered with it and kind of worried about getting it right.
Oh, of course, Linda. Thank you. Linda, thank you for being so descriptive and also short about it. I really appreciate that. So, Linda, what happens, obviously, if you don't know, is that you lose your ground when anyone brings up taxes, math, this type of administrative stuff. And what you want to do is bring yourself down. So, a lot of people talk about grounding, but they don't tell you how. I am the how, right? I like howness. I like that.
I
So,
do too.
oh, God bless you, Linda. God bless you. So, Linda, bring your attention 3 fingers below your belly button.
Okay.
Okay. As if there's an eyeball there, Linda, looking out. And that eyeball is in the middle of your body. So, not only is it 3 fingers below your belly button, but also in the middle of you. There you go, Linda. Very nice. And if you're listening and you want to do this, that's great. And just breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And keep your attention in that place, 3 fingers below your belly button and in the middle of you, and just relax. And ask your beings, say, I, Linda,
I
ask
ask
to be brought to my still point.
to be brought to my still point.
There you go. And this area that I call that your still point, which is 3 fingers below your belly button and in the middle of you, brings your attention into your body. And when your attention's in your body calms down and relaxes. There you go, Linda. You're experiencing it now. Yeah. I see your whole nervous system calming down. Your network of energy is moving on in. Beautiful, Linda.
Mm.
Beautiful. Good.
Yeah,
So
it's been tense all day. So thank you.
yeah, how do you feel?
Much better. I felt it. The minute you said it, I felt it.
Great. So Linda, here's the dealio. You can have one experience with me or with John or whoever. The key here is to practice. So if I show you that. So now practice every day so that when you need it, you can use it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So during the course of the call, keep your attention in your still point. And you're going to notice you're going to get calmer and calmer. So that way, when it's like, oh, time to do the taxes, you could be like, okay, still point, down I go. And you'll have more of you available. Does that work, Linda?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much, Corey.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure, Linda.
Thank you,
All right.
John.
You're
You
welcome,
guys are
Linda. Good to see
great, and I appreciate it.
you. Bye, Linda. Okay, Sheila, let's go to you. Welcome to the call. Sheila,
Ah,
can you unmute
sorry.
your microphone? Wonderful.
Can you
Hey,
hear me now?
Sheila, before you start, y'all find your mute unmute button before I call you if you've raised your hand so that we can move on with Grace on the call.
Thank you, John.
Welcome, Sheila, of course.
Hi, Colby.
Hi.
My question is about relationship. I've been single for a really long time, and I keep saying I'm open to a relationship, but it isn't happening, and I'm not open. You're saying no. I have an understanding of where I might not be open, and I think that's it's the physical because I've judged myself. Um, no, okay. So there's just incongruence, right?
Sheila,
And
I'm going to jump in. Is that okay?
certainly,
Sheila, you are lovely. You're a lovely, giving, overly giving person. You're just
yeah,
the sweetest thing in the world. You are focused on rejection, not on love. In fact, when I throw rejection in the mix, you go, I know that. Oh, I could swim in that all day long. I know that world. Ooh, ooh, somebody get me a towel. This is just delicious. But when I throw love in there, you go. So I think you do want love, Sheila. I don't disagree with you, but you're more looking to get rejected than for someone to love you. Does that make sense?
makes perfect sense. Yeah, I get it.
Okay. So now the question is, how do we turn this around?
Mm,
Okay. When people are rejected, they're told that they are wrong for being them. It's basically what rejection is. Do you agree? Like who you
yes,
are wrong.
yes,
Okay. Now, sure, that's not correct, obviously. Obviously, that's not the correct, but that's the message or what you made up. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Okay. But there's so what you're looking for is for someone to not validate you when you really want to be validated for who you are. You really want to be validated, but you're looking to not get validated. And so that's what you get. Okay. But the universe is protecting you. So they're not bringing you jerks. They're just bringing in nothing.
yeah,
Okay. So you got nothing. Okay. Great.
nothing.
So let's talk about fertility. Not fertility, I can have babies, fertility like land and crops. Okay. Because you have this inroad into agriculture. I don't know why, but you have this inroad. Okay. So could you bring your attention, just like we did with Linda, 3 fingers below your belly button and in the middle of you? There you
Mhm.
go. Very nice, Sheila. This is where I start everyone with the still point. There you go. So notice you're feeling calmer. Is that correct? Am I reading that right, Sheila?
Yes,
Beautiful. And you say, I
I
call upon
call upon
my ancestors' roots in agriculture.
my ancestors' roots in agriculture.
Now,
Now,
there you go. Let me know what's happening as it happens. Here they come. There you go. Nice. How are you doing?
good. I just can feel this more expansion in my chest.
Beautiful. Say this,
Yeah.
Sheila. You're okay with that? Please teach me
Please teach me
how fertility.
how fertility.
Now, please.
Now, please.
There you go. There you go. Now you're expanding. There you go. From this place, there is no lack. There's plenty. There you go. Nice.
Mm.
How are you?
I'm good. Yeah.
Good. Fertility. Can you say that again, Sheila?
Fertility.
There you go.
Mhm.
Now, is your thing men, women, they, thems?
Men.
Men. There you go. Let's bring that in as a concept into fertility. There you go. There you go. So the field, the land is populated now by men. There you go. Good. How does your outlook now seem about your dating options?
It's vast, and there's a lot. Before there's nothing.
There's a lot.
There's a lot. Yeah.
There you go. So Sheila, a lot of people think they're looking for love who are single.
Mhm.
They're really not. They're looking for validation. And because that's not in concert with their soul, soul's not looking for you to find other people to validate you. Soul wants you to validate yourself. So then nothing happens. Your soul's like, okay, let's get her to validate herself. And then that will be mirrored into the ethers. So I want you to think about more whether you want love or you want validation. There is an overlap for sure.
Okay.
But what is really your motivation? Okay?
Oh, I keep hearing to give love.
I didn't hear you, sweetheart.
I keep hearing to give love.
Yeah, what about receiving it? Yeah, notice what's coming up in your back and chest when I say that?
Mm.
Yeah. There's a lot there, sweetheart. So your job between now and the end of the call is to sit in the field of plenty and consider if you're seeking to get validation or to receive love. What's your motive? We always get what we most want. Spiritual law, according to me, you always get what you most want. However, if it's more important than your relationship to your divine, if you're on a spiritual path, it's usually held back. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
You may want to go in
Thank you.
deeper with a session with Colby's, this resonating, if it's resonating for you, Sheila. And as you're sitting with this, and I know Colby would just finished going through a process with you, but I would, after the call, maybe come back and listen to the replay. And I would ask you to take inventory. Why is it that you want a relationship? And be very grounded in your whys. And Colby was asking you, am I looking for love or am I looking for validation? That's certainly a key point to consider in the energy. But how great to ask ourselves and to be honest with ourselves and to take inventory from a very grounded place of like we would be asking our best friend, why is it that you want to find this? What is it that you're really looking for? Is that really what you want? Or would you rather be alone? Or would you rather serial date? Or it's
Or not,
or
or not
not.
at all.
Exactly.
You're just a single person.
Yeah. And so to really tap in, it's like the liberation that comes from, again, just discovering that truth within yourself. Because a lot of these truths there's so many imprints that are societal. It's a collective thought that we've fed into. And sometimes the truth of our soul is at odds with the cultural environments that we've been conditioned into. It's just nice to
Yeah.
tap into that and breathe into truth. Breathe into truth. Anyway, blessings to you, Sheila.
Thank you.
Yes. And Colby's right. You're lovely, by the way.
Thank you.
Samantha, welcome to the call. Let's get you to unmute your microphone, please.
Hello there.
Oh.
Yes, John, beautiful background, making me feel happy just looking at it.
Nice.
And Colby, nice to talk with you again.
The background's nice too.
Yes, it is. It just doesn't have the sunshine.
Pacific Northwest. Hawaii.
You don't have the
I
roses in the
completely
background
get
either. Yeah, yeah.
I do. It's
I used
dark.
to
It's dark.
I used to live where you live, Colby, so I do get it.
Where do you live now?
I'm in Rhode Island,
Ah,
which is also dark and cold right now.
God bless. So Samantha, where are you thrown off balance, or with whom?
I am thrown off balance around earning money that doesn't drain me.
What do you do?
Um, I I work part-time for myself doing landscape design, and I work for the Board of Elections, and I lead some discussion groups for the Providence Athenaeum and blah, blah, blah. So I've got multiple smaller things going on, and that has its benefits.
Absolutely.
And I really miss the career or I miss the regularity and the focus and the teamwork aspect of the careers I used to have before I had a chronic illness that got in the way. So my question to you, basically, to focus this is, what do you see regarding a more financially rewarding situation that feeds my soul?
I don't think you want money. I think that's the problem. I think you want interesting work. I think what's important to you is you being interested in what you're doing. So you got to be clear. If you say to the universe, hey, I want money or lucrativeness or whatever, and you don't really want it, there's a disconnect. You split your energy. You want interesting work. You want to be engaged. You want to be deployed. You want to be used by the universe.
And that it used not it in the past, that was not mutually exclusive with making money.
Doesn't have to be mutually exclusive, but one thing has to lead in terms of intention. I want interesting work that is lucrative, that is meaningful, that is harmonizing, whatever the case may be. But if you want interesting work, say you want interesting work. So, my friend, what would be interesting for you?
Many things, as long as they seem to contribute to well-being.
Okay. All things contribute to well-being, depending on how they're done.
Yeah, okay. So I
I'll ask the
relate
question
to
again. What would you like? What would be interesting work for you?
There's a range of things that have to
Name
do
one.
with health and beauty.
Hey, Samantha, my second attempt, now third, to help you try to get specific. Notice you're dodging. So, what would you like? What's interesting work? Give me a specific so I can go look at it for you.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. Colby, I want to open up my own essential oil shop. Oh, great. Okay. Colby, I want to own a horseback riding farm. Great. Okay. Give me something.
I would love work that is in the public speaking realm, public education realm, that diffuses conflict.
Why?
Because I feel that is a skill that we all benefit from knowing but haven't learned well.
Notice you're in the negative.
Okay.
Notice you're not saying, hey, I want to do work that brings more peace, harmony, and friendship to schools. Notice that's not where your vibration is. Your vibration is in the problem.
Yep.
And if your vibration's in the problem, guess what? You get more problems.
Yep.
So what if, let's just reframe that. Colby, I want to do work in the public schools, bringing mediation and love and harmony and friendship to young people and teachers or whatever. Can you hone that in for me, please? Oh, for you?
So I want to do public education work, public speaking work that creates greater understanding, respect, and harmony.
Notice you're being
in the
dragged
community.
down now. Notice you're being dragged down. You have a weight This feels very weighted for you, very heavy for you. It doesn't feel light. It doesn't feel airy. It doesn't feel uplifted. Notice that. Am I right?
I think you are.
Great. So we got to find something that makes you feel yes. For you. No offense, screw them. If you're yay, then that will carry over. Easy peasy. You don't have to solve other people's problems in order to be valuable. What did I say, Samantha?
I don't have to solve other people's problems to be valuable. I think I do approach life much more heavily than I need to.
What is Samantha? Oh, there you go. Look, it just started happening. Can you feel the joy coming out? Ah, there, it's coming. It's coming.
All right.
Okay. So what would give you joy? What would give you joy? What would be fun? Meaning
I
is
guess I don't think of true fun and work in the same sentence, even though I've always enjoyed my work.
you like interesting stuff. Now I want you to do interesting stuff that's fun, that's joyous for you.
Yeah.
I could work in the prisons doing mediation. That could be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Could you give that some thought? And maybe
Yes.
in a session could talk more deeply, because I don't want to put you on blast here, right? More deeply about your options, where you want to go. But what we're looking at is changing a paradigm of yours, that life is a problem to be fixed or something along those lines.
Yes.
To life is, and I get to be in it. John was talking before about happy. This is the happy piece.
Yes.
It is. It is. That's why I was like, no, Colby, there's happiness in this also. It's part of the mix.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it there's an opportunity to go deeper with Colby in the special offer. You may want to
Yep.
take advantage of that. One thing that I want to point out also, and so many of us, me included, so I catch myself sometimes and I try to bring myself back, or I do. But part of that fun and the joy when we say that we want to earn money and do it in a way, we're not putting earning money or having the reciprocation of the exchange that we have so that it's financially beneficial for us in beautiful ways. That's not part of the joy and the fun that we're adding of the things that we want to create with joy and fun. Um, and think of money as a relationship. If you feel like money is a drag, it's like the step brother that you don't want to bring along because they're too young and they're no fun and they're too heavy and you have to deal with all these responsibilities, then why would money want to show up and play with you?
Got it.
Right?
Yep.
Right?
Boy, that was great
But
pointing that all out. Thank you.
yeah, our relationship with money is a big deal also and how we approach it and there's a lot shifting. And again, that's why it's wonderful to tap in these ways to get to the root and balance and be very honest. With what's there because that's really the path towards the freedom that we seek and to our evolution. Without the truth, we really won't evolve. We'll just keep repeating the same cycles, right? Uh, yeah. Blessing, Samantha. Yeah,
Thank
highly
you.
recommend a session with Colby. Thank you. Okay, Kim Morello, welcome to the call.
Hi, John.
Hi.
Hi, Colby.
Hello.
I joined a little bit late, so I didn't hear the intro, but I'm hearing people ask where they might be out of balance, and I didn't know if you wanted me to share something.
I made an announcement that we're going to be married in Hawaii next month. You're all invited. That's what you. So Kim, just a place that you find yourself off center
Yeah,
or in a situation.
yeah. I have had probably the most painful 2 years of my life in my relationship with my daughter. That has gone in and out of connection and not. And I know she's hurting and has been in a tough place herself. And I've been doing my very best to hold the light and I just feel like sometimes I just get impatient and I just want healing. and I want reconciliation, and I don't know what more to do. It feels like it's been going on for too long.
I'm sorry, you don't know what more to do to support her, to keep your boundary? What do you know not more to do?
I want reconciliation. I want to feel close to her again.
She's not available for that, sweetheart. Not right now, she's not
I
available
know.
for that. And you're pushing that agenda, and I understand why you're pushing that agenda. It's quite human to want connection. So I guess I think maybe what you're asking me, and correct me if I'm wrong, is, Colby, somebody I want connection with doesn't want it with me right now. How do I soothe myself so I know my own well-being in the face of her rejection, her refusal, whatever? Is that correct? Am I right about that?
Yeah, I guess. And I guess the other part for me is I still don't quite understand. She thinks I do. She thinks she's told me, but and she really hasn't. In little snippets, she's shared little bits here and there, but she's just not acting like herself,
Okay.
which
So-
makes it so hard.
So this is very similar in some respects to a death. You want completion with
Feels
somebody
like
who's not
that. Yeah.
available to give you completion.
Yeah.
And you want her to give it to you. And as long as you insist upon that, you're being held hostage by that.
Mm.
And she's given it to you, according to her, but you're not satisfied with what she is offered. And you're like, I don't get it. Now, whether she's given it to you, hold on, or you're not available to hear it. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Whether you're available to hear what she has to say, or you can't hear what she has to say because it's too provocative to your system.
Well, I feel like I've been available to hear it. I've asked her to tell me to, I don't say much. I just let her talk mostly because I want to hear her and I want to give her a chance to process and say whatever she needs to say. And it just doesn't make sense to me.
Got it.
And
Okay. Mhm.
and so it just hurts. It just
Yeah.
hurts.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Does it have to make sense to you?
No, I guess not.
Okay. But does it
I
have
mean,
to-
if it makes sense, then you know how to maybe be with it differently, or maybe
Yeah,
even
that would be
even provide support.
it would be nice, like when someone breaks up in a relationship, let's say my boyfriend broke up with me, it'd be nice to have that conversation, I guess. And sometimes you don't get that opportunity. And sometimes when I've had that opportunity to have the conversation, I would have rather not had the opportunity. So somehow, Kim, you need to get complete with someone who doesn't want to complete with you in your experience. Okay, so notice as we're talking, this area here in your body is getting disrupted. Your
Mhm.
womb. Notice that.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
I just feel lost.
Because you want her back inside of you.
Yeah.
Okay, but she doesn't live there anymore, Kim. She doesn't live in your womb anymore. I
I
understand.
guess I'm having a hard time accepting
Yeah, of course.
that this has never been like this, ever,
Right.
ever, ever.
Kim, this is extremely painful. And it's a big deal. So let's do a little and we'll see what we can get done. And we'll do the rest in a session if you desire. Is that all right?
Mhm.
All right, so sit up. I see you're in your bed. I want you to find a line, upright. Chest out, chin horizontal, as best as you can. And you're gonna say, and say your name.
I, Kim,
Allow my daughter
allow my daughter
to be separate from me.
to be separate from me.
I release her out of my body,
I release her out of my body,
even though parts of me may not want to.
even though parts of me may not want to.
I release her.
I release her.
I accept, allow, and acknowledge this
I accept, allow, and acknowledge this
now.
now.
There we go. You're gonna feel a spindle of energy. There you go. Nice. Now, even though parts of you don't want to, there's more of you that does. So we've got it, we got a shot here. Really good one. There you go. Nice. It's interesting. It's coming out of your throat and out your mouth. And also out of your ears. That's interesting. There you go. Let go. Let go. Open, open, open. Oh, there you go. Nice. How are you, Kim? What's going on?
A little better.
Keep going. You're going. Keep your attention in your womb. Keep releasing. Keep letting her go. She's an adult person at this point, I assume. This is appropriate for her to have a separate physical body, separate energetic body than you. It's appropriate. And a lot of people who come in through their mom learn their grounding through their mother, or think their mother is their grounding, which is, I think, where the confusion is.
I feel a lot of energy up in my shoulders.
I'm sorry, I missed what you said, sweetheart.
I feel a lot of energy right
Yeah,
up
good.
in my shoulders.
Good. Just letting her be with her, and you get to be with you. You've been wanting space for yourself for quite some time. You just didn't think this would this would be not the price, not the cost, but a natural outcome of that. There you go. There you go. Nice. Things are clearing up now. Good. Third eye just popped open. Beautiful. Crown just opened. There we go. Ah. What's going on now, my friend Kim?
Better,
Good.
better.
I'm a gay man, Kim. I don't necessarily understand somebody who was born a boy and wants to move over to being female. I don't understand it, but I don't have to understand it to support it. Right? You don't have to understand something to support it. Okay? She wants separation. For now. You've been wanting to be separate, to know yourself, to clear your space, because you keep people and their stuff way too close to you. So you've been wanting to clear space, and this is what's happening.
Did I manifest this on some level?
Of course, we manifest everything on every level.
This
We
pain?
just don't know where to do.
Circumstance?
Yeah, we just didn't, you didn't realize when you set an intention to clear your space, I'll use that language, that this would come about. Just like I wanted to be awakened. I didn't realize that I would have a Kundalini awakening that knocked me out for 5 years. I didn't know that was going to happen. I went,
Yeah. She's done this to her father too.
yeah, she hasn't done anything. She's doing her. She's
Yeah.
being her.
Right. Thank you for clarifying that, Colby. Really important.
Yeah, it just feels so personal.
Yeah. You may want to go deeper with a session
I know.
with
Yeah.
Colby. Yeah.
I think so.
It's personal because it taps into your stuff. And this is the universe attempting to heal you of your deeper stuff. That's it. Yay, the universe is paying attention to me. Oh, the universe is paying attention to me.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
It doesn't mean you're going to be happy necessarily. Like we started the call. You missed that part, Kim, but it goes hand in hand with how we began.
Yeah.
The goal is not to be happy. The goal is to be you, to be in your journey, be in your involvement. And that's why we're here. Blessings to you, Kim.
Thank you. Thank you, Colby.
Good job.
Pleasure's mine, Kim. Thank you for talking with me. And John.
Thank you.
And we'll send out those invitations soon, John.
Enough invitations. Yeah, to the wedding. Absolutely. Yes, on the backyard here and right on the river. It'll be wonderful. Hawaiian wedding. Thank you,
Mhm.
Kim.
Thank
Y'all,
you.
we're gonna get into more Q&A. If y'all want to ask questions, you can still raise your hand. We've got some hands raised that I'm gonna get to y'all in a little bit as well. But let's go to the special offer first, y'all. Y'all click on the link in the chat box. And this is an opportunity to have one-on-one guidance with Colby, going much deeper than we're going tonight, even though Colby's going pretty deep pretty quickly. But Colby, let everybody know what they're going to receive in their 25 minutes with you.
So we're gonna do a session of whatever you like to work on. Usually it's about something that's not happening in your life or is happening. And I help you either get to the root of it or help you find a practice so you're able to be in center around whoever or whatever is happening. And we meet on Zoom, and it's about 25 minutes. I tend to run over, that's why I said 25 minutes. And there you go. So if this type of work appeals to you, it might be something you want to consider.
Or if it doesn't appeal to you, but you know that you're called to do it because it's like, oh, something's going to break up and I don't know what I want to go there, but I know that I do because I know I'm ready to be free of this, right? If that appeals to you, these are the type of sessions for you. Y'all, it's $97 for the BTO special offer. It's a two-payment option. And your calendar's pretty open, right, Colby, to take people on for the
You have a
session?
calendar link, right? And it's all set up, easy peasy. Boom.
Easy, easy, y'all. Y'all schedule your sessions. And again, the link's in the chat box to click on the special offer link, open up the tab, book your session, and an amazing ride with Colby and going deep on what's available to you. So there it is for y'all. Colby, I have someone writing in, and let me find, where was it? Someone's asking about health issues that they're having, and they're curious if you can see where they're out of balance and if it's contributing to a rash that they have on their ankles. Do you do something like that?
Yeah, I do something like that, but in order to do it, I need you in front of me, the person.
Okay.
In my
Barbara,
opinion, everything is consciousness, as I think is yours, John, right?
great.
So everything is an out picturing. So if something's out of whack is questionable. If something is manifesting, it's because you are holding something.
Hmm.
Now,
Big.
there are things functioning, our manifestations, but one of them is our consciousness, karma, all sorts of stuff, right? But this is the thing that we can manage.
Hmm.
Difference.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Barbara, if you want to raise your hand, well, we can promote you to panelist and you can ask your question live. And for now, let's go to Lara. Welcome to the call. It's good to see you.
Thanks, John. It's good to see you too. Colby, thank you so much for being here.
There you are. I couldn't find you in the little bubbles. I'm like, where is he?
I'm here. I'm here.
Hi.
So I am doing a lot of work in therapy with EMDR, figuring out about my past trauma and all that stuff. And a lot of what's coming up is grief. And like it's just really super heavy grief that I would love to get rid of or work through faster because it's really having an effect on me. And I have depression anyway, but I feel like I'm even more depressed now because of all this heavy grief.
So is it Laura or Laura? I'm sorry, I apologize.
Lara, no worries.
Laura,
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So Laura, can you tell me, because I want to find a thread to pull, like I have grief about my mother, my father, my brother, not a general, I need you to be specific with me so I can find it.
So I have grief with a past life. I was a man and watched my whole family get killed in front of me.
A past life is, in my opinion, is always a metaphor for what's going on now.
Okay.
I'm of the same.
Now I'm single. I don't have family.
So my point is, people get stuck in their past life stuff. I want to hear about now.
And
because
that's so hard because I don't even know now what it is. I mean, I was sexually abused as a small child. And I don't remember it, but I know it happened.
So Laura, let me just stop you, okay? Is that okay? Is that okay, Laura?
Of course, yes, please.
So
Go ahead.
Laura, what's happening is I see a very clear image of you looking at a large hole, black hole, and you're looking down on it. So what's happened in your experience, and in my opinion about you, is you are looking at holes. And as long as you keep on looking at the hole, guess what? You're going to be really depressed, grieving, anxious, angry. I want to see if we can turn you away from the hole, Laura, and see the sunshine behind you. Now, as I say that, Laura, you don't want to turn. You want to keep looking at the hole. You are what I would refer to, God bless you, as a spiritual junkie. Like you like to work on yourself, and God bless you. It has really served you. But now we need to bring your attention to how good life is. We need to bring your attention away from the whole and that what has happened, what hasn't happened, and help you to see the beauty that's all around you. Are you willing to do that?
I'm gonna say yes, and you're gonna say that my body was saying no. I know my therapist says the same thing. I do this thing where you say, "Oh, it's beautiful out today," and I say, "Yeah, but there's stuff happening in the earth that's horrible."
Laura, thank you for knowing yourself well enough to be honest with you. So can we say you have an addiction to the negative?
Possibly, sure.
Great. Why do you think that is?
It's comfortable. It's safe. I know it.
And you avoid being betrayed.
Yeah.
Now, notice when I say that, there's a lot of tears behind that heart. Now, those tears behind your heart are not from the past life, that's this time around. You've been betrayed, as we all have, because that's the nature of whatever. Okay, that happens. You took it personally. Some people, that happens. That happens. Okay, great. And so you're like, not going to be betrayed again. Let me look at the negative, because if I know it's crappy, then I don't expect and I won't get betrayed again. So that's what you're avoiding. You say, Colby, I want sunshine and daffodils and ponies, but not so much. Okay, so that's the challenge.
So how do I get away from my addiction and get over the betrayal so that I can live life?
Well, you have a very well-worn habit. And I imagine this well-worn habit is epigenetic, meaning it's not just you, it's your mommy, your daddy, and all those people before. And this kind of mentality keeps people safe, right? Keeps people safe. If you expect the worst, then you prepare for the worst. Okay, great. So sit up. Let's do a little work. Laura, if you don't mind, could you sit up? Notice,
Best,
I'm sorry?
I was just saying the best as I can. I have back issues, so I'm
No,
like
I want you
back.
comfortable, but I want your spine as erect as possible so the energy can move. I'm not the posture police.
That's good because you'd be throwing me in jail.
Okay. So, bring your attention down, 3 fingers below your belly button in the middle of you. Just relax. It's all good. There you go. There we go. I
I,
say your name.
Laura Watson,
Give my mother's perspective
give my mother's perspective
back to my mother,
back to my mother,
even though I don't want to,
even though I don't want to,
even though I feel like I'm betraying her.
even though I feel like I'm betraying her.
I release this perspective.
I release this perspective.
There you go. Mother's paradigm is your mother's paradigm. You're not a good daughter for taking it. You're not a loyal daughter for taking it. There you go. It's
Not a
moving.
bad daughter for giving it back to her.
I'm not a, thank you very much. And I'm not a bad daughter for relinquishing it. There you go. It's clearing now.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'm just reading, just following you. It's not hard. It's not hard. You're a pretty open book, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I am.
You really, you're very developed, very developed. This is just like a knee-jerk reaction you have to that your perspective goes to. That's okay.
It's
Okay.
not okay. I don't want to have my mother's perspective.
No, look, if we make this wrong, then we can't resolve it. We have to accept that this is maybe what's happened. And we accept it. And now I'm done with it. Okay, but we don't want to push it away. We don't push away anything. There we go. Push is resistance, and then it comes to you. There you go. There you go. Very nicely done.
Thank you so much.
How do you feel?
I feel better. I mean that, as soon as you said that, it was like, oh, that explains so, and it felt like a knife in my gut. And then it was,
Children want to save their parents. That's the nature of being a child. We want to save our parents. And this was your heroic attempt to help your mother. Messed up attempt, but heroic.
I
Right?
just want to see things as they really are. They both live with like blinders on. I try and
Well,
teach them, but they don't want to hear it. They're in 3D.
your parents are in 3D?
Yeah, and they're not going to move to 5D.
Yeah, they're not gonna. Yeah, we're not gonna be held hostage by their lack of desire to change in this way. They're doing fine as they are. They have their life. This is what they're creating. Great, awesome.
Well, there's something I want to point out also, Laura, as you're interpreting your parents being in 3D, see where they're being a mirror for you as well.
Mm.
See what it is that is circulating in your belief system and how you're functioning with that belief system. That's a 3D perspective. I would invite you to feel into, even though past lives may seem like a 5D concept, if it's keeping us in a third dimensional vibration of I did something wrong and I have to judge myself for it or somebody else, you're living in 3D. Right? And so just a good awareness to have of what we're bringing into the cycle, that because we use karma or past lives or Akashic records or these other things and they need to be healed, that if the energy and the thoughts and our actions are vibrating from the interpretation of how we're viewing our parents and their deficiency as a reflection of how we're talking about our deficiencies, that there's something there that is looking for compassion and reinterpretation to rise everything else to a new potential that's possible to set you and the love that you have for your parents free from those limitations.
Can you see it? Can you see what it is, John?
Your judgment as to what you believe those past life things are. It's like, oh, I'm stuck there because this past life experiences, it's keeping me back. I want to kick it out. I've got to release it, overcome it. I've got anger towards it. I've got confusion. We all do it in different ways. This isn't unique to you. So I'll give you that. We all do it.
Sorry.
We all do it. But as we're talking about the different levels and as we're judging some people being in 3D because we're having 5D conversations, it's wonderful when that strong impetus, that energetic pull comes up, but they're in 3D. And it's like, whoa, there's a charge. Hold on a second. Why is that charge? It doesn't come from a discernment. It comes from mirroring perspective, a reflection back of something that we're healing. It's just great to, again, be aware of where we're bringing in those energies also. Because when we're speaking to them, when we're acting upon them, it's such a pivotal point for us that something is wanting to transform and evolve. And it may not be comfortable to go through that evolution, but the freedom that is garnered from going through the alchemy of what's possible is tremendous. And again, Colby's sessions are not necessarily the easiest to go through. He goes through them very quickly. They can be uncomfortable, but they can also be very illuminating in such a short period of time. And all we have to do is approach it with an innocent heart and with a mind that's open to the truth. And so it's wonderful what's available if we're willing to listen and if we're ready to listen and really want to make the change.
For sure. And I'm ready and I want to make the change. I say that, but I know I can feel it inside of me being like, oh, what are you talking about? We're not changing anything. This is comfortable. We're staying here. So I need to work on getting my body, my mind, my heart to go along with. I feel it that anyway. Like I need to.
May I offer you something just really quickly?
Yes, please,
Oh my
please.
There's you, Laura, and then there's the I.
Mhm.
So I would like you to frame your conversation in Laura wants to keep on looking at the whole. I knows that all is well. Laura wants to eat cheese doodles for dinner. The I wants water and just water. And you keep bringing yourself back to talking Laura and Laura the I, the God self. And we want to make a split, a distinction between these two things, because I think you're listening to Laura, the ego, the small self, as if it's you. And it is you, but it's not the only you.
It's not my higher self.
Central self, higher self, full self, essential self, call it whatever you wish. The I.
That's very helpful. Thank you. I will do that.
Mhm. And I would also call it the I that wants to be happy, the I that wants to be free, the I that wants to relinquish the suffering that you want to be free from, this depression, as you call it. It's make it really simple and tangible and grounded. Again, we get into my higher spirit and my higher self and my evolved ego and whatever else we want to call it, and it's so removed. What do you want? And how do you choose it? And yes, connect to the higher self, but no neglect the one that wants, the you, the I right now, and that knows that it's possible. Oh, so thank you,
Thank you
Laura.
so much. Thank you. Blessings to both of you.
Blessings to you. Colby, with the conversation with Kim that came in earlier, and my daughter is doing this to me.
Mm.
She's doing it to my husband as well. Where do you find that other people may be carrying part of if that person wasn't doing X, Y, and Z, then my life would be so much happier? How much of that is running the show for a lot of people?
I think that's running the show for most of us. I think we all have reasons that we give ourselves to be upset.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And this is just the biggest thing that, what's going on right now, and you choose to focus on it. And, I used to play a game with a friend. How many days could I go without drama? With being upset about something, like some
Mm-hmm.
story. And I got like first week, maybe an hour, literally. And then it progressed as I tracked it. I'm like, I want to go longer without drama. And drama was always me making a story about it, not just the experience, but the story that I am less than, people aren't considerate, blah, 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 blah. People, we don't make enough anymore about choice. Like, I have a choice how to think about this. We've combined feeling and thought. I have a feeling this feels crappy, and my thought is they're doing something to me, they're inconsiderate. Well, maybe, maybe not. And as we separate that, we can see a little more neutrally, right? We have a little more equilibrium, and therefore we have more control. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, I think most of us are moved from drama, event to event.
Yeah. and we're surrounded by it. We commune with each other based on drama. A lot of times we're taught, let's gather, let's face this problem. This thing came up. Let's gossip about this. Let's do this. Let's fix this. That's broken. Let's make this thing better that needs to be better because we have an interpretation of how it should be. In the dramatic type of way. Of course, things are evolving, but that's a whole different conversation. One thing that I want to offer also as a practice that I've implemented with my daughters for quite some time, and it's a practice, and I try to remember, and this is going back to the conversation with Kim again. I know that I want to love my daughters. I know that there's this love that emanates for me in my connection with them. And so as my relationship dynamics evolve with them in different ways, I'm aware that wherever I'm having an expectation of them, I need to step back and be curious as to why I have a particular expectation. And they're adults, right? So I hold them at a different place, and they're capable, and I can trust to let go that the way that I could have guided them for the most part has been complete. Not that I can't sprinkle things here and there naturally, but I'm aware that as I'm being loving and loving them, that love, it has to be given freely. In other words, I don't expect something from them in return. They can choose to say thank you. They can choose to love me back. They can choose to do lots of different things, but it's given freely. And I'm given that love of joy. Sometimes I'm concerned, and of course I want to fix it. And I see them navigating different parts of life that I just want to step in and like do this, and this. Whereas I take a breath and settle in, I'm aware that the root of my giving to them, of being with them, is a foundation of joy. I'm giving my love. I'm being love out of joy, and it's my absolute gift to be able to gift that love, to be that love. Again, without an expectation that it will be received, they'll be recognized, that it has to be something for my sake. And that practice has started to evolve into other relational dynamics as well. And again, the freedom that brings in, the freedom from different aspects of codependence that has unsnared.
You remind me, Abraham, a channeled being.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah. And share more about this. Yeah.
Somebody came to Abraham and said, look, I'm really concerned my children are eating junk food and they really enjoy it. And they're so happy when they eat the junk food. I don't want to be negative and tell them about cavities and diabetes. What do I do? And Abraham is like, well, you could either worry about them getting diabetes and cavities, or you can believe in the power of their digestion and the power that they know how to make great choices for themselves, that they know when they're full and that they know when they've had enough. You could believe in somebody, or you could try to fix them.
Mm.
And no one likes to be fixed.
No.
And no one can be fixed. Right?
Right.
And if you try and you succeed in this one instance and save them from whatever, next week, tomorrow, guess what? And if you need to fix, really the one you need to fix is you.
Right.
No one's fixed you, no one came to your aid, and now you're externalizing it.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you're a great dad.
Yeah, I do my best.
Yeah.
Or I say I do my best, right? Yeah, it is what it is. But I do live under those tenets and as best that I can. And it's wonderful for fostering a deep, beautiful, trusting relationship, even though if I have to hold my breath every once in a while, waiting for something to transition or waiting for a callback, or again, having an expectation that isn't met, But that's always about checking into myself first, and seeing what's really needed from there, which is so beautiful. Um, Colby, as we finish up today's call, and y'all, the replay will be up. Get back into some of these practices and the energies, y'all, so from the replay. And of course, the special offer with Colby to drop into session with them at the special price of $97 is available to you through the special offer. Click on the link. Read through it if you want to on the special offer page if you click it on now before we hang up, so they have it handy. And of course, the link will be sent out with the email a little bit later this evening, letting you know about the replay as well. What are you excited about, Colby?
I'm excited about. Golly, I am excited about pecan pie right now. Really.
Do you have some in your fridge or available to you?
After this, I was gonna go get to reward myself to get some. My eye and Colby both agreed on the pecan pie.
Some overlap.
Some overlap. So that's what I'm excited about. A little pecan pie. What are you excited about, John?
I was excited about your answer, and that kind of made me laugh. Or what your answer might be. I'm excited about lots of things. I'm excited about being a new home. I'm excited about the expansion that is undoubtedly happening in the lives of so many people right now as we're awakening to more compassion and truth within ourselves. And the reflection of seeing that within ourselves is undoubtedly being mirrored back in the circle that we do. And how wonderful is that? So that's exciting to watch that evolve and seeing the ripple effects. But if that ripple effect's happening, what's the ripple from the ripple? And that's super exciting for me. We'll see how it unfolds. No expectations, but wow, amazing the possibility. And so wonderful to receive and be in that. And I'm excited for my alone time.
Oh.
I'm excited for being hermity. I'm excited about the holiday seasons. And I'm just throwing things out there for y'all to invite you to drop into what's exciting you and why. And it can be the most mundane things, pecan pie or alone time.
Pecan pie is not mundane, my friend.
Interpretations, right?
Pecan pie for everyone.
Kobe, it's been wonderful having you on the show today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was totally fun. Thank you.
And thank you all for being on here, for being on the call. Blessings to you all. And I look forward to seeing you on our next call. Namaste, everybody.